Well, well. Howdy there, my lovely, lovely audience members out there. Welcome to another episode of the Wildfire Club. I am your humble GM, Master of Ceremonies, and all those wonderful things, Chris. And with that, we have a wonderful episode for you today. But before we get into all of that shenanigery and greatness that is happening, let's introduce all the lovely folks we got here on the cast. Starting off with Humna. Humna, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello everyone, my name is Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and today I will be playing Ava Taha, who uses he, him pronouns. I forgot for a second. I was like, what are my character's pronouns again? You know, they can be in flux. And yeah, I don't really have it. A lot happened, and mostly it happened to Lizzie. So, Joe, I'm just gonna let you take it away.
Yeah, indeed. I am Josephine at scarydogfriend, and I'll be playing Lizzie Stone today, who uses she, her pronouns. And welcome to the Midnight Mass. I'll pass it over to Cam.
Hi, I'm Cam, and today I'm going to be playing Arizona. And I am ready to cry. Chris?
I'm the man that's going to produce those tears to you very soon. Hi everyone, my name is Chris, and I am the, there we go, brain recalibrated GM for these preceding evenings. With that in mind, we got a wonderful show for you, but before we get into all the madness, kiddos, content warnings in case you missed those bad boys at the beginning of the episode. Starting off with exclamation point CW, you can catch them all in terms of what we got going on here, but I'll read them out for you. We got fantasy and gun violence, apocalypse, romance and references to sexual entanglements, monsters and monstrosities, severe weather, specifically forest fires and hurricanes, especially hurricanes and storms coming around this time in this episode here, blood, real world religions, familiar struggle and loss, alcohol and drug use, trauma, references to benign manipulation and kidnapping, emotional and abuse, supernatural elements, depictions of kidnapping and murder. Also, for that lovely audience member out there, Mind Control is coming on back in the second half of this episode, so please do keep that in mind. And if any of these content warnings are not for you, there's a plethora of wonderful content out there for you to enjoy. On top of that, if you want to follow me or any of the lovely cast members I have below me here, exclamation point cast to see where you can find them on the big wide web out there. But you've had enough of me rambling to you, audience. I think it's time we get into this episode of the Wildfire Club. So we're gonna play that intro for you, and we'll be right back. We'll see you soon.
You can borrow
With that, we return not the day after the events of Lizzie's unfortunate kidnapping, but rather at the end of today's event. Or maybe technically tomorrow morning if you want to be specific. My lovely Wildfires, for a moment, you don't necessarily feel anything, but then you all kind of wake up slowly but surely in unison. And as you kind of getting reacclimated, feeling incredibly groggy and in pain in some places, you find that you are in the hospital once again. But rather it be you visiting members or you being there to console someone else, it's you all are there. You're being treated. You see you're very much in that sort of four, kind of, like two beds on each side, one missing, but you see that you're all next to each other. And as you sort of begin to get up, you can feel bandages around certain places. And to be honest, out of everything that hurts a lot, your head, as you feel what looks is a sharp pain in it. And as you sort of beginning to get up, feeling pain in your stomach, your chest, your legs, you hear just a knock on the door. And with that opening it up, Dr. Moran comes through, kind of goes, "Hey there, gang." You see as he kind of opens the door, he seems to have get well soon balloons as well on his side that he's just coming on in with, just a variety of colors. And you see he's got one of those stuffed teddy bears on his side. He kind of goes, "Hey guys, how you doing?"
For clarification, are the three of us in this hospital room?
Yes, the three of you in this hospital room. You're having a hard time remembering how you exactly got here, but you do know you've been through a hell of a day, and you're here now.
I think Ava kind of groans in the hospital bed, and props himself up on one elbow facing the door where Dr. Moran is. What? What happened?
Well, y'all, to say the least, got into a bit of a nasty scrape with, Father Michael and also, Lola, which is still something I am coming to terms with. But essentially, you had a day. If anything, I was here to check on you guys. If you let me.
Ava turns to the other two. Kind of gives them a questioning look.
I'm still not understanding how did we end up here?
I can help walk you through it. That's kind of why I'm here to begin with. I mean, Shaw wants to, do the whole 9 yards of questioning you guys off, but we're holding him off for a moment so we could make sure that you're okay before the press starts rushing in and talking about the heroes of Heartfellows and all that stuff.
Heroes.
Well, that's what the press wants. I mean, you essentially solved this whole mess of the wildfire and everything, so they just want to make sure the heroes get their proper due, or at least get a headline. You know how they are.
I don't think that... I won't speak for the others, but I don't think I'm in any kind of condition to talk to anybody about anything.
That's understandable. When we're done here, I can make sure I wave them off, and you can go about your day here. You see, he just places the balloons just next to everybody, and anybody want the stuffed bear? Or he kind of goes over. It's very much a stuffed bear with a little heart. No takers.
I'll take it.
Take it.
Gonna get one for everybody.
I only have so much, but I'll get you one later. I got you next time, Lizzie. With that, he gives you the stuffed bear, Arizona, and with that, kind of sits down, pulls out paper, pen. Okay. So let's just, I guess, run it back in a sense. What exactly do you guys remember, if anything? And he's just asking you from what you know right now. So you can give whatever answer you seem fit.
I remember Sheriff Shaw taking Lizzie away for
Gotcha.
something that she should not have been taken away for.
Yeah, he apologizes for that. He didn't want to do it, but he's very much following orders and a lot of that. So he does send his apologies, Lizzie.
You can get that apology right to me.
Understood. Yeah, I was talking. Continue. So yeah, you remember Lizzie being taken. Lizzie, from what I read on the police reports, one of the officers heard you were kidnapped by your father-in-law.
Not just that. There were 3 police cars in total. And he stopped all of them right in the middle of the road with a sense of authority that only a man who believed himself to be God could give.
See, it's very interesting. You go back to that religion aspect again. Was that something he was very focused on, or was that just more of a personal thing for you?
He's a Catholic priest, doctor. It's his whole life. It's his whole responsibility, fattening up his coffers, his belly.
Not to mention he had Lola there, so I can understand there was probably more distress in that moment than you care to remember. So I guess if anything, you see pulls his chair, looks in your direction, Lizzie. Let's start off with that. So everything happens, you get thrown off the road somehow by your father-in-law.
And I'll tell you, it's not just somehow. He had powers.
And Ava
Right,
looks
powers.
at Lizzie with this look of surprise. Doesn't say anything, but is trying so hard to beam into the back of Lizzie's head. What are you doing?
He had psychic, telekinetic powers with which he threw every car, including the one that I was in, into a ditch.
Now, you say powers, is it more like, like a magician in a sense? Like, very much, keep your eyes on the watch kind of thing that he was able to
How much do you
manipulate
really
things?
know about your wife?
I thought I knew a lot. And it's pretty awkward to say that my wife would have killed me, which isn't a fun thought. I guess we don't know much about the people we thought cared for us, which is a whole other thing, but focusing on, let's say, okay, he's got powers, he's some out of, Twilight Zone here, but what exactly happened? And I think in that moment, the camera shifts over to you, Lizzie, as we begin to hear the sounds of rain pitter-pattering. Lizzie, you are slowly waking up. You have a bit of a headache from whatever Father Stone did, which again is a very new revelation for you, but as you're getting up, hearing the sounds of rain, you can see that you're in sort of an underground church of some kind, so of older nature. It doesn't seem like to be the church in town, but you see it's very old, underground. Very much only source of light is this sort of lit lamp, gas lamp that's in the corner that's hanging, and you seem to be chained up in what looks like to be these manacles of some sort. Runes carved on them, which is a bit strange, but essentially you are chained very much like arms up against your head, so you're very much like in this position here. Still able to move your legs and whatnot, but you're very much chained to the wall. But that really doesn't concern you. The thing that does concern you is the person that is across from you, which is Lola, who is unconscious for the moment, but is very much chained up against the wall in the other section. It looks like for the moment you two are connected to each other, so if one was to move, the other one wouldn't be able to reach. But in this moment, you're chained up. What's going through your head there?
If this isn't some kind of delusion or dream or breaking point, Lizzie doesn't know what else it could be. There's for most situations when things were stressful and in such an emergency situation, all she could do was just attempt to process every single detail, overwhelm herself in that regard, and then maybe in a year afterward, everything would come crashing down, and then she would let herself cry when she had a day off or something, or she would let herself sleep for over 10 hours or something like that. So right now she's in this mode of crisis, and what that feels like is just thinking about the lightning, like bottled lightning. Another forest fire waiting to happen.
In this moment, as you're thinking out, a thunderbolt very closely comes up. You see Lola wakes up in a slight panic, finding themselves in a similar situation, hyperventilating, looking across. Lizzie.
It's me.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck where am I? I was at the bar. I was giving drinks to your dad. And then all of a sudden, I turned my back. And now I'm here. So, what's going on? Jesus.
He kidnapped us.
Why the fuck would he kidnap us? I see what's going on. I'm very scared. In this instance, this is some real Friday the 13th shit going on here, and I'm not really vibing with it.
He found out about me lying to him.
About what? Exactly.
About me not liking you. You not liking me. And, now we're here.
So he kidnapped me? He kidnaps me because you like women? Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense, but it is what is happening.
You see thought across her mind. Is he gonna kill us?
I'm gonna kill him first. And I'd like to conjure Wildfire and try to burn the metal on the manacles off as best as I can. I know it'll probably hurt me, but I have to.
This is gonna be DC 20 check for reasons I will get into.
16.
Take 2 failure. I'm sorry, 1 adversity token. As you attempt to use your power, you do see it begins to start on your arms, going up to it, but as it reaches where you can access it from your hands, you see that the runes on the shackles itself begin to glow, and the fire begins to absorb into the shackle, effectively canceling out what's going on.
Of course.
Of course, what? Can't you use your whatever it's called to get us out of here?
Chains are magical or something. They are cultish in nature, and of course he thought about it, and I can't get us out.
So we're gonna die here, is what you're telling me. I'm gonna die in here while my sister is all alone and my dad is in the hospital. I'm gonna die here because I loved you is what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's not. I shouldn't be blaming you for whatever this is. That's not right.
I would blame me. I would blame everything on me.
Don't. It's not your fault, Lizzie, that your father-in-law is a deranged dick.
It is my fault for getting this curse, this thing that I have, and still seeing you, involving myself as much as I have with the other two, and just letting all this happen without fading into the background.
Don't do that to yourself, Lizzie. You always... You did this shit all the time with Samson, if we're gonna be very honest with yourselves here. And it didn't exactly give you the life you wanted. It's not gonna start doing you wonders now.
He did give me the one thing, and that was dying. So that even for this brief moment, those brief moments outside of this literal prison, but as brief as it got me, this is where we're at right now.
Lizzie Stone, you are trouble in a handbasket.
I try not to be.
Before Lola gets another word, you hear a door open from sort of somewhere up top, and you see coming down the stairs, shirt very much in his traditional kind of priest wearing robes, but looks a little bit more tattered and loose, very much of somebody who's like not too caring about the appearance, or they've been wearing it for a while and they're just at this point like unbuckling stuff so that they can have more freedom and air to it. He walks down, slight anger, but also more of like a fatherly disappointment, if anything. As he sort of comes over to you, Lizzie, not saying anything, begins to unshackle you from Lola. And with that goes, let's go upstairs, child. We have a great many things to talk about.
Just wordlessly follow.
You see, he gives a stern look over the Lola before he brings you up. And surprisingly, as you go up the steps, you find out you're in sort of the burnt husk remains of where you and Lola kiss. Also, old Lola sort of like Haven around, Haven away from Haven. And with that, you see he has a chair pulled up, foldable, one direction, another one across, as you are both very much near what looks like to be a sort of burned-ish looking statue of Jesus Christ, still looking down at you with those sort of eyes that it always does have, as he sits right across and just extends his hand over to the chair across. Take a seat, Lola. We have much to discuss.
I do.
Do you take a seat, Lola? I mean, Lizzie?
I do.
Down. Child. There is much I could say that would demonstrate the level of frustration and anger I feel in this moment, but there's been a question that has been burning in my mind, child, ever since I've found the truth of what has been happening here. How did the loss of my son make you truly feel? Not whatever fake tears you gave, not any of the face you gave at the funeral itself. How did my son's death make you feel?
Surely, what answer would make you the most satisfied? That I cried silently to myself, ordering the end of my life into a line of chastity. That him walking out on me to sleep with other women, tourists, made me prideful of potentially continuing a generation with him, that it was uncomplicated, that it was a smooth sailing, that it was something that I could perfectly process. He died working alongside me. This is a firefighter's understanding of something that could potentially happen to either of us. And just as I lay unconscious and he lay unconscious, I was the one that got out. And that my parents had apparently got caught up in their trail walk, and they got caught up in that forest fire, and everyone that I had ever known and understood, shaped my schedule around for the rest of my life, suddenly they were gone. It is a complicated feeling, and it is a complicated answer.
You see, he very much locks in this moment. As you see, he goes from a sitting position to one with his hands close together, leaning towards you. John, one night, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just. We'll be forgiven for our sins and purify us from all that is righteous. Listen. Today is not about making you feel bad. It's about coming to an understanding and cleansing you of this sin you've had in your heart. And I'm not just talking about what's downstairs. From the lies to the pridefulness. Lizzie, you have lost yourself with God's gift. And I'm here to talk with you. to make you understand that this is a blessing and that you have strove off into the wrong path as you see me as some sort of villain. But I am a savior.
For the first time, Lizzie feels like shouting at someone. Certainly, she shouted at Ava and Arizona before, but truly in a way that she cannot control, or is just about to lose control. And as she is so suddenly able to visualize her soul as fire, that it is raging inside of her, but still contained. I'd like to imagine the room gets warmer, or at the very least, the air between them is warmer. And she'll begin to sweat like at the back of her neck. You killed 6 fucking men yesterday.
I have done a lot of things in this line of work that are not particularly something you can just pray on. I understand that. I've made quite a many sacrifices, Lizzie.
You've made sacrifices.
I have.
You've made literal human sacrifices. So what of those men who died doing their job? As misguided and fucking stupid as their job fucking was. Or did you make saints of them? Or are they nothing to you? Are the families that they left behind nothing to you? The community?
I understand that what I do is for my community. I know you are frustrated with these answers, but to be simply put, these men are but no. And the voice of God, as you see, he gets up and sort of slightly does like one of those like air praise towards the statue. Whenever I am concerned about the actions I take, whenever I am unsure if this is a righteous thing to do, I speak, pray in my house, and God answers. It's hard to describe, Lizzie, but when I speak, he responds, and he led me to you. He made me understand that you are important, all of you, and that this community needed to be saved. But in saving a place, you have to sacrifice. John 3:16. For God loved the world, that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, as they will have eternal life.
So what? Was Samson's death part of the whole plan? Was he a martyr in your eyes? That my jackass husband meant something cosmically?
Samson's death was unforeseen sacrifice. He was supposed to turn out like you, but he just had to be a hero that day, and I lost him. I did not foresee that, but in my grief and counseling, God answered again and told me that it was a sacrifice, unforeseen. It was a necessary sacrifice for everything that we have to do Cyclone, now that's the real devil there. They want to come in with their construction, their elegant, civilized ways. I come from the north. Raised in the south, grew up in the north. I know what they think civilization is. It is a heathenless, godless jungle of degenerates. Spouting out about individualism and all these things about focusing on the idea of one versus the concern of many. It is sickening. And that is what they want to bring to Hearts Valley. You cannot in good conscience believe that Cyclone would be a betterment for the community. You have shown this disdain from time to time again. You think we're on opposite sides of this dynamic chessboard of good versus evil when we are actually on the same side. I'm just willing to do the dirty work in order to make sure the enemy stays in the ground.
So I'm kidnapped, but Cyclone is the enemy. So Lola is downstairs, but Cyclone is the enemy. So you're having private councils with Randall Colt. But this is just all some great chess game to you.
Well, you're wrong about Randall Colt there. Now, you think I'm in cahoots with that city boy. But it's only to lead him in the wrong direction. See, he wanted to pull out. He wanted to take all his little men in this castle and run off all the way back to the city. But the thing is, if he leaves, some other asshole's gonna come in. So we had to make an example and make sure that he continues on his path as God wants him to continue, so that when he fails, no one will ever try again. You know how much money Cyclone has lost in building this little place that we've done in a couple weeks? It's millions with a capital M. We've done more community work, to be honest, than I've ever could. They think their little concert of fuck Cyclone was gonna do any good. Now, if you really want to fuck Cyclone, you fuck Cyclone. Lola, on the other hand, is a little bit more personal. I will admit. How long have you been having this affair with this deviant?
Call her something else.
There's a great many things I could call her, but I feel that that is the most kind word I can get.
Call her something kind. Use her fucking name, or I'm not saying anything.
Understandable, Lola. I understand, Lola. So how many years have you been going off the back being with Lola?
Since I was 19, Father, I have been faithful to Samson. I have not looked her way. I have not touched her. I've worked alongside her. I've volunteered. But I did not let myself do anything with any other person because of him. He's the husband. He's the one that gets to do infidelity and all of those things. I get to just go home, make us both dinner, serve you, serve my parents. That's the fucking truth.
I know my son was not exactly citizen of the year. But there is a sense of understanding between a husband. Now, my son, while he was not exactly Man of the Year. He was faithful to you, in a sense. Always came back home. Never ran off. That boy many times wanted to break up this marriage, but you know what? I always convinced him to go back, and he did. He was a good boy.
Otherwise, he'd be a fucking penitent beggar somewhere.
Now, if we're gonna agree on words not to call people, I won't have you call my son a beggar. He was a good boy. He was.
Where would he live other than the house that my parents had dutifully paid off, or lived with his daddy? Lived in the church, lived in a fucking attic or basement somewhere, lived in where the horse shit is. He's not made any money worth enough to make any kind of rent be plausible. He was irresponsible. He didn't care for men nor women. He just fucking used them, just tossed the word children around and generation and legacy around as if it meant anything to him in a way that was anything more than a child's opinion, just like your words are anything else than a child's opinion. These gifts that you think are a curse, they are not Lord's intervention.
It's not a curse, child. It is a gift from God. The day that fire came into town, I felt a holy righteousness that I haven't felt in quite some time. Like the way God through that giant ocean to wipe all the evil, cleanse the land. That's what the fire was. You are part of that great plan. Boy, I will have my words about understanding who you are as a person. You have constantly done this big circle of blaming others for your lack of control. I find it very funny that out of all the imaginations, amalgamations God could have given you, He gave you the gift of fire control. A thing man has tried since civilization. I need you to understand yourself so that when the time comes, you can provide for the God, the Lord.
Do you think me, Prometheus? Do you think this to be the beginning of time as soon as you obtained something that a couple other handful of people also obtained, fucking children also obtained alongside you? And neither are you Paul. Saul the Christian killer suddenly went blind for 3 days and suddenly Paul is the one, did not even become an apostle, preaching to the other people about how to not pretend to be an apostle, that his suffering, he prayed to the other people, the other worshipers, that I wish that I could bring you to the Lord as if a babe, a fresh virgin, someone who could understand with new eyes, with eyes that could see truth immediately. You twist every word. You're a hypocrite, and you were wrathful, and you were wrong.
See, he gets frustrated. Romans 1:18, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of man, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. Lizzie. I wanted you to be the one who sacrificed themselves in the fire, not my son. But yet here we are, and these are the cards we are dealt with. While it will be much harder to convince you to do what I need, what we need of you, That is why I have your little girlfriend downstairs. It is not only personal, but it's also a matter of the plan provided for me by God. You will sacrifice yourself for the great mighty cause. And if you don't, I will make sure Lola spends an eternity within hell, unlike anything they have ever imagined. And I do not mean torture. I mean something worse than death. I mean purgatory. So I'm going to send you back downstairs. Enjoy your talk with your loved one that you seem to care a whole lot more than Samson. And when I come back, I want you to come with me so you can do what not only you have been meant and destined for, but also your friend. I don't like you, Lizzie. I really never have. You were the only child in this community that I thought my Samson could grow from. But even in this, Lizzie, like you've done with your parents, like you've done with your friends, and like you've done with Lola, you failed them. Because it is what you do in your nature. You fail and let down people around you, so you can go and keep on helping them. That is what I think of the great Lizzie Stone.
What does your God sound like to you in your head? What does he sound like?
Intelligent. Wrathful. Pure Old Testament as it should be. He has not led me astray, not once, even when I was on the cusp of letting this all go and to be with my son. Now he dragged me into the light to understand that what we do is for the valley. And hopefully you'll understand that too.
I don't need to speak to Lolo. We can do all this right now. Do you need me to be at a specific spot? To martyr myself? Let's do it.
As much as I would love that, you have to prepare a meal before you enjoy sucking. So, enjoy the time you have. It may be the last. As you see, he proceeds to pick you up and begin to escort you downstairs, locking you up.
Okay.
At this point, Dr. Moran kind of goes, well, that, I guess, that's what happens when you put two people who go to church in the same room. But, I mean, how did were you going to martyr yourself in a sense? Or was it a ploy to trick your father-in-law to doing something he would, slip up or something like that?
I just wanted him to stop talking.
Well, preachers do like to talk.
And my plan essentially was, if I was gonna die because of killing myself or whatever it was gonna be, at the very least it would be away from Lola. Maybe I could take him down with me too.
It's understandable. But we'll get to you in a second, because as that was happening there, points over to Arizona and Ava, you were at the town meeting, if I was not mistaken. Now, point of order, did you not know Lizzie was kidnapped?
We had no idea.
We didn't know.
I mean, it's understandable. So, if we didn't know what was going on with Lizzie, what exactly were you doing? And at this point, the camera shifts over as it goes over into the Iron Bull. You do notice it has been raining, and there have been some reports just going about town, especially you getting here. You can hear just off from a radio or anything like that. That, there's a storm coming in. Looks like it's going to be a bad one. No one really knows where it came from, but, that's just Hearts Valley at the end of the day. But none of that really matters, as the two of you are in a nearby booth. The sounds of music coming off with the jukebox. You see pretty much everyone from town is here. You see at the moment the bar is manned by Frank, who's just very much taking up, in case of emergency, very much taking up bar duties and whatnot, as everybody's kind of just waiting here and going about. But with that, you see Frank kind of goes over. Hey guys, I'm just running bar duties today. You guys need anything? A pint or a drink or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, I could go for a pint, please.
Yeah, gotcha. What about you, Zona? You need anything?
I mean, I think a whiskey would be nice.
Alright, we'll get that up to you. Don't worry, you don't gotta pay for it, Zona. I heard the news. I'm sorry about getting fired. On the bright side, if you're looking for an alternative career, I do need a cameraman. So, keep that in mind there, bucko. Just keeping holding a thing, or security, that could be a thing. But I'll get you guys your drinks real quick.
No fucking way I'm being that man's cameraman.
It'd be an easy job.
Yeah, but it'd also be working under him.
Yeah, that's true. That sounds... Oh, yeah, no. And Ava, I think, kind of sidles in a little closer to Zona and leans back against the bar a little bit and says, we gotta figure out how to get Lizzie back.
No, where the hell she's gone? What's going on?
I assume down at the station, right? That's... Where else would have Sheriff Shaw taken her, right?
Yeah. But I don't know, something just doesn't smell right about it. I got a bad gut feeling.
Well, the drugs aren't hers, and the cyclone papers, my dad did give them to me. There's nothing really that they have on her.
I know, but even going into her house, no warrant, no nothing, that's not like Sheriff Shaw. That's not how it's done, usually.
You think somebody's got him up to something?
Yeah. I don't see the sheriff act like that unless somebody's paying him off. I know enough about the Becks to see it that.
Just above table, the last two cultists we found out were Rana and then Moran's wife, right?
That's what she saw on the tape.
Okay. And then
are we trusting the tape? You say that's what we saw on the tape, like we shouldn't trust the tape.
What do you want from me? What do you want from me? That's what's on the tape. What do you want from me?
What do you want from me? Why are you saying it like that, though, bro?
It was an answer to a question. What am I gonna pull? What am I gonna pull? That's what's on the tape. You can suss me. You can do that. It's your prerogative. That's what you're here, man. That's it.
Suss of everything, man.
Do the rest of us know yet that it's Father Stone? I can't remember.
Yes, you all saw the tape.
Okay.
So it's very much you saw Rosa and Father Stone. Rosa's not here.
Yeah.
Neither is Father Stone. So that makes sense, but also it's still weird, but makes sense.
This might be wild, but I think we should check out Rosa and Father Stone a little bit more.
Yeah,
I have a feeling they got something going on there.
I agree with you. Maybe after this meeting we can go check out the church or something.
It's not a bad idea. Now, this meeting, do we have an idea of what we're doing going into it? How important?
All I know is
how
that
we're going about it all?
I don't think we really have a plan. All I know is that we're deciding on Cyclone, and I mean, I just really hope that the town understands that Cyclone does not have our best interests at heart.
How are we gonna convince them, though? I feel like generally they got it, but I mean, fuck, that money is fucking tempting. And Cyclone does employ a lot of people in this town.
You think the Becks could back you up?
I got fired. I don't know if they'd be willing, but I know
Right.
they owe me.
Maybe that's time to pull a little favor.
Let's see about it. Who is like around the bar that we see? You said it's a town meeting, but like, is there anybody that like is influential that is here right now?
Jay's here. You don't see your father didn't come over. You see that he's very much presented the materials. Randall's here, probably presenting for Cyclone. The mayor is also here, just to probably be a mediator in between that. The brothers from the junk shop there. Pretty much anybody you could think of is here, but in terms of influence and people that you have somewhat of a rapport with, pretty much Jay.
I'm thinking we can talk to Jay and maybe the mayor. Hamna, do you want to take care of the mayor?
I was actually gonna ask the other way around, only because I feel like the Holloway name probably sits nicely with the mayor.
See, I was gonna ask you to take care of the mayor because of your powers.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm good either way, so whatever you prefer.
Let's hold on. Let's do
rock paper scissors.
rock, paper,
Wait,
scissors.
So
Winner gets mayor, loser gets Jay.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, is this rock paper scissors shoot or is it rock paper scissors?
Rock paper scissors shoot.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Okay. Right. Rock paper scissors shoot.
Damn. Okay, so I get
Okay.
Jay.
Yeah, you get Jay. I'll
Okay.
get the mayor.
Awesome.
Okay.
that you two break off as you see midway through. You get your drinks. You do a quick rock paper scissors match, and then with that disperse through as you're sort of going through everybody. I'll say at this point, starting off with you, Zoni, you see the mayor kind of going about talking with everybody, and kind of goes, "Well, howdy there, Miss Zona. How you doing?"
Can you remind me of this mayor's name?
Eric.
Eric.
Or Mr.
Eric
Barton, if you
Okay,
wanna
got it.
feel-
I have him up on the little thing.
Barton.
Okay. Well, howdy there, Mayor Barton. How you doing?
I am doing great. I think today is going to be a good day for the community. Hopefully we get some eyes on Cyclone, so we make sure everything's A-okay, everything's all good.
Listen, actually, about that, I was gonna ask. Just wanted to see your opinion on Cyclone. I know it's split, but I'm hoping that a man of your influence will be able to lead the town in the right direction of, you know, supporting our community rather than big businesses.
I don't know, Miss Zona. Look, to be honest, people are tense. You got, a murder? I mean, on top of a wildfire, we just don't, as a community, from my standpoint at least, as acting official, like we have the resources to deal with these big city problems, you know? It's only going to get worse when time comes along, so, you know, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from.
Just to be clear, I do not think Cyclone is the route to take. And to be honest, Mayor Barton, I know we're in a time of uncertainty, but I know in times of uncertainty, we need a good leader, a good man to lead us through the times. And I, as a Holloway, would support you in your attempt to lead as a good man.
I need a charm check, because do you believe that at all?
I'm completely talking out of my ass.
Yeah, gotcha. We're gonna make this a DC 10.
Oh my god, I have a 4 charm. This is gonna fucking
I believe
kill
in
me.
You're gonna need
No, that's a 1.
Do you have adversity tokens?
I do. Hold on.
Do you have 9 adversity
3.
tokens?
I
Well,
have
only needs 3 to
4.
blow up and then can roll again.
So I'll do.
Technically, yeah.
Like, I'll do 3, and then
Okay, so
blow up. Oh, another 1. Fucking hell.
Damn.
I wasted those 3 adversity tokens.
No.
Well, you get 1 back, so now you're at whatever.
I get 2 back because of my thing.
You get 2 back.
So you really
There it
only
goes.
used 1.
Yeah, in a way.
In a way, you won in that scenario. But with that, going through, you give like, we need a man in this time, and it very much like you can't help yourself, that it goes like a kind of like, we need a man in these times of like, it hurts when you say it. And he kind of goes, look, I understand completely where you're coming from, but I, to be honest, my mind's made up. I think Cyclone all the way, baby. You know, I think they're going to provide for the community, go upgrade everything, fresh, you know, help us with these kind of accidents. Because to be honest, we ain't got the money for that kind of stuff there. So, you know, I appreciate you working it. You know, I heard you got fired. So, hey, it looks like maybe Senate or something like that, government, you could try to run at it if you want to fight these folks. You know, you got my vote. You know, when my time comes.
Eric, can I level with you?
I assumed you were, but please give me the full 9 yards if you haven't.
Listen, I thought I could butter you up, but let me tell you, I ain't no beauty queen. I don't know pretty words. I don't know how to, you know, convince you to care about the people that you watch over. But what I do know how to do is kill in a lot of different ways. Cattle, of course. Cattle only. But, you know, it's important to know many different ways to kill cattle. Sometimes peacefully, sometimes not so peacefully. You know? You know that cows often drown if their dips that they go into too smooth going in. You need some traction. You need that hard work, that grit. Just like that, this community needs some hard work, some grit. And if you line our dip with dollars, makes it too slippy, well, I'll drown. So my question is, are you gonna drown? Because I can put you out of your misery right now if that's the case.
DC 8, and if you fail, something very funny is gonna happen.
Oh, I tried to do it nice. Okay,
Charm.
It's charm again? I'm threatening him.
I mean, that's related to charming. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm fighting this bitch. Can I please do like a verbal fight?
You can put
something?
hands on him. It's gonna be worse. It's gonna be a worse scenario if you put hands on him.
God damn it. Oh.
So either charm, and if it fails, you know, it just kind of fails and you do with that. But if you want to go the extra mile, you could use brawn. But the thing is, if you fail, it's gonna make you look suspicious.
Okay. Can I ask a question? Can I use my wildfire in this case?
Sure.
Can I
Can you
embody like some ancestor of mine that was one of the founders or the leaders of the town that just was willing to do
We're
crazy
cooking with
shit?
gas.
We're cooking with gas now.
Come
Yeah,
on,
let me use my
explode.
C4.
A six,
6?
and I'm gonna
Okay.
use 2 of my adversity to bring it up to an 8.
With that, he kind of goes.
So then you
So
wait.
Is that? I have
Wait.
a question. Does that mean my wildfire explodes if it's a D8?
Did you
and
get a D6?
I got a 6 on a D8, and then I used 2 adversity to bring it up to an 8.
Yes.
That does explode. Yes.
And you're at a
so I'm
D10
up
now.
to a D10
Yeah.
now.
I'll roll it again.
Wait, hold on. 2.
2. Fantastic. With that, he goes. So I understand you are coming from a conflicted place, and you know your father was a good friend. I will consider your words because, I do not want to drown. I believe I am a very proficient swimmer. So, look at that, Miss Honecue. I have to go deal with my constituents. I'll just, I'll deal with that in this time. Thank you very much. And as he sort of turns around the corner, you see sipping like a beer. Shaw looks at you, hearing the conversation. It's very like, okay, situation, but continues to go about drinking. You succeeded, so he doesn't intervene at this moment, but he does notice.
Don't worry about it, Shaw.
As you like back away at this point, going over to you, Ava, as you see Jay's just by himself, you see that he's over talking a little bit. Just Percy's coming over, but his dad's not going to show up. He's pretty much there for the family's sake. But with that, you kind of come over and goes, "Hey, Ava."
Hey, how's it going?
Just waiting for this asshole to speak, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, about that, by the way. You know, I've been thinking a lot about what you said about, you know, belonging in the community and everyone kind of sticking together and whatnot. And I just think that, you know, Cyclone isn't a part of the community, and they certainly don't care about any of us sticking together, you know?
I already told you at the fair. You got my vote. I'll do what I can from my side.
Yeah, and I mean, I appreciate that, but you know, you're Beck, and that has some sway over the people here. I mean, I feel like if you say something, you know, when it comes time to talk about this, discuss it, and people share their opinions, I feel like if you say something, people might listen.
I can vote for myself as a person. I don't know if that's the best option. I don't have a great track history, especially with Amber. People still hold that against me. I don't think people are particularly going to listen to me.
You're the one that's gonna take over the ranch.
That doesn't mean they like it.
They might not like it, but this is an opportunity for you to change that, you know? Show them that you're a real leader, that you care about the people here, like really care about them, not the way that Cyclone pretends to care about everyone. Because, I mean, you know, in the time that I've gotten to know you, I can see that you actually care.
You see, he thinks, DC is going to be 8 for you. I leave it up to you what you want to use. And my mind is charmed, but if you can spin this for Wildfire, feel free to do so.
I think I'm trying to like level with Jay on just like a person to person level, and not trying to like magically influence him. So I think I'll go with charm.
Fantastic. Make a charm check. Make it 8.
I got a 7, but I'm gonna use an adversity token to bump that up to 9.
Fantastic. With that in mind, he kind of takes a moment, looks over at you. I got you, Ava. Don't worry. I'll do it. I don't think people are going to listen, but I'll do it.
Thanks, Jay. And, you know, I really do think that you can turn it around. The way that people see you, I mean.
Well, I hope so, because mostly everybody on here has been giving me the dirty eye.
Hey, also, and Ava will look over at where Arizona is talking to the mayor, and can kind of see the like awkward energy of that conversation, and kind of like smiles a little, and then looks back at Jay. I'm not sure if you had anything to do with it, but when you take over the ranch, if you could offer Zona her job back, I just think that would be good. You know, it's not fair if they were let go, and I'm not saying the Zona is going to want to come back. I'm really not sure. They're pretty headstrong, so they might just reject you outright. But at the very least, I think part of mending that bridge is at least giving her the chance, the option, you know?
I mean, sure, I can do that, but it really wasn't my decision, or even my dad's, if anything. Percy is the one in charge of the household.
I know, but if you're gonna run the ranch, you know, you have the power to override that decision.
Why exactly did he fire Zona? Do you know why?
I don't know. Zona won't talk about it, and I'm not really one to press. All I know is that it wasn't fair. At least by the way that Zona sees
sounds
it.
like it. It doesn't make any particular sense why you would hire Zona, especially if it was short-handed. It just makes no sense.
Yeah. I don't get it either, especially because, hell, Out of any of the cowboys here, Arizona's got... She's the most competent.
Gumption.
Yeah. So I don't know why they would... If they were going to fire anyone, why it would be Zona. And not,
Oh, he's coming over. Or if anything, maybe I can try to sweet talk him back. But I don't know if you're going to stay here, but it looks like the meeting's going to start, so...
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just going to go catch up with Zona. But thanks, Jay. And
Gotcha.
I got your back, okay?
Alright, gotcha. With that, you go to your side. Anything else, Ava, before the meeting starts?
No, Ava's just gonna like go to where Zona is after the mayor has left and just kind of like gently nudge her with his elbow. Not necessarily just to like say anything, but just as a way of greeting.
Nudge, nudge.
Fantastic. As you guys get there, you see it's kind of... Alright, everyone, a point of order. As you know, we have a cyclone has been here a couple days, and they have a project that they're very excited to bring up to the town. I know for some of us it may seem like a bad time, but I initially brought it up due to the fact of the fire and these investigations, which Shaw has handled so beautifully well. We are investigating actively, so if you have any questions or concerns, Shaw's the guy to go to. Well, thank you, everyone. But yeah, it's an ongoing investigation. Lizzie should be in the cell at the station, so you should not be concerned. I'm headed over there after I'm done to make sure everything's okay and to get the bottom what's going on here. But nothing to say, innocent to proven guilty, and to be honest, I don't think Lizzie's the kind of person to go on a murder spree. You see Franco, debatable! Point considered, Frank.
You got a warrant for that, or are you just gonna show up to all of our houses unannounced?
Oh!
It's understandable we had an anonymous tip, and especially with murders going around left and right, especially being so close to the home of your departed mother, Ava, we thought it was a best concern to follow through with that. So we got a quick warrant signed through. If you want me to show you it, I'm more than willing to show you it. I know how you feel about these things, but just given the time, the place, and everything...
Wait a second, big government can just come into our private homes whenever they want?
I see what you two are doing. No, it is not big government.
Are you denied that you are paid for by the government?
You see echoes. These are important questions that we should get to, but in this moment I will elect to refrain from that being the main discussion of today's emergency meeting, as we do have a more pressing issue at the helm. But we will concern is not... reiterate, it is not big government. And you see there's a number of people going, it's just like muttering to each other. And with that, I'm going to give the floor to Randall Colt. You see coming along is a few claps. He kind of gets up there very quickly, kind of goes,
Boo, who said that?
I take my criticism with glee there. Hello, everyone. You may know me as Randall Colt.
Where'd you get that black eye?
I'm known as Randall Colt. I am in charge of Cyclone's operations within the valley. We provided a number of things for you already, from the phone lines to the new upcoming mall, which is doing prestige work, which should be done within the year. But primarily, I'm here with a massive opportunity for the folks here at Heart Valley. With that, he kind of has one of those like picture boards there that very much like he has a picture. This is Heart Valley. It is the town you all know, it's the town you all love. But like many of the towns within this quadrant of the U.S., to make it simple and put, are dying. It's just the way things are going with cities and whatnot. So, rather than leaving you behind, we want to offer Hearth Valley to be part of Cyclone's up and coming, what we call the Q project, Q zone, Q development. Primarily, we are focused, instead of upload the slides, of making the cities of tomorrow. You're not the first one that we've offered this to, and hopefully not the only ones who have accepted, but Cyclone is very much known for its sort of interconnection rails. We have, rails connecting from the east to the west to the south to the north. Every which way we got a rail going there. And with that, your town is in a prime spot here, not only for a trade depot that we hopefully are hoping to build, but also for tourism and all that and whatnot. Primarily, it provides an opportunity for this place to grow more than what it is. Hearth Valley has been a town that has survived for quite some time, but I think it's some time has passed on that we want to help it be something more than a town that is surviving. Essentially, the Q zone is the development of a sort of train station that will interconnect not only commercially but also residentially, and essentially will be giving tourism as well as new jobs to the community. Something that the town itself doesn't necessarily have to pay for, thanks to government subsidies and contracts and all that. So essentially, this all comes not out of your pocket, but out of the pocket of big government that we all like to give the fuck you to, as I can see here. But essentially, in order to get this project done and to make sure we're all signed off, we need the okay of the community. Other companies like to just do it and deal with the legal ramifications later. That's not us, that's not me. I have grown to know you folks intimately, and other times not in great circumstances, but I understand that this is your home, and hopefully you can see me as a member of your community as well. I've lived among you, I've been there, provided, rest in peace my two other constituents that you very know, the Tahas. And again, we also will be setting up a charity in the name of Rana Taha to make sure other bright minds like her are able to go to college and, do the impossible there. So that's something we're hoping to push forward. But primarily, just to focus back everything, we need a vote to see if we are going to allow this. Now, I know the Iron Bull is very famous for these kind of debates, hence why I wanted it here and not City Hall. Plus, I don't think anybody would show up to fucking City Hall. There's a slight chuckle. So I've made my arguments here. I open the floor to anybody that may have a differing opinion if they want to make their side known. If not, we can go straight to voting by, good old by the hands. So does anybody want to take a quick shot at this?
Zona is elbowing Ava. And
I'm hardcore elbowing Ava, and I'm just like, Ava, do that thing that you do, making everybody get on your side. Do your fancy voice, Siren Boy.
Siren Boy. Look, I'm gonna wait and see what Jay has to say, and if he falls on his face, then yeah, we'll get everybody on
Mayor
side.
should be on our side, I'm hoping. I'm gonna look over the mayor. How's he looking?
Yeah.
You look over the mayor, Randall looks over the mayor too. So he is having a very much dilemma here. You see, he goes, as mayor, I am going to abstain from the arguments. I think the constituents are the ones that have a say. They don't need little old me to come in.
Boo! Pussy!
Well, at least I'm just keeping my head above water. So I opened up to anybody else. Jay kind of stands up slightly awkwardly, kind of goes, hi, everyone. I know it's been a while, but I've been back in town for the summer. For those who don't know me, I'm Jay Beck, the sole heir now to the Beck Ranch. Cyclone's offer is very tempting. It's fast money, secure, and I know a lot of us have children here who want to have better lives, which is understandable given the way things are today. Ranching is in our blood, but it's not as important as people used to believe in it, and I know that hurts. I've seen companies like Cyclone before, and they scare me, to be honest. Not because of any wrongdoing or anything like that. It's more of the erasure of what they do. They come in, they help build a place, people get money and all that, but I've seen towns lose part of themselves, you know. You don't go to your neighbors as much as you have to go to work in the morning, you know. The office job kind of kills you a bit, and you lose that part of yourself that wants to go to the rodeo. I don't think while Cyclone's offer may be beneficial on paper, would not benefit us culturally in a sense. Hearts Valley's been around for quite some time, and I don't think they'll be the birth of this place. I think rather the end of what makes us ranchers and cowboys. I'm gonna vote the way I'm gonna vote, because that's who I am. And the last thing I want to do is force anybody to do anything. From my point of view, I'm gonna vote against. You see Randall goes, hey, that's fair, that's okay, we'll understand it, thank you for talking up. Anybody else want to say anything?
Above table, remind us again what we found in the like papers when we were rummaging through the office.
Well, a good amount of people did sign the affidavits. So it is very much a 50-50 scenario, and also they were hiding the fact that they had footage of who caused the fire.
Right.
So they've been hiding who started the fire for whatever reason. So that's something you have as well.
Okay. But I assume the documents that my dad gave me to throw out are under Shaw custody, or well, right now because of the investigation into
They are
Lizzie's house?
technically
Okay.
under Shaw custody.
Gotcha. Just, okay. Getting all the facts in order before I speak. So I think after having like a hole dug into this side by Arizona, Ava finally says, okay. And we'll...
You got this, kid. You got this, boy.
And if I don't, you've got a gun. Ava will raise his hand. And will say, you know, I think that more than just culturally, we're forgetting that Cyclone doesn't actually have our best interests at heart. I mean, have we all forgotten why we're here in the first place? It's the wildfires, right? Kind of odd that happened all of a sudden and started at a Cyclone facility. Now, you're not going to believe me because I don't have it on my person. But Cyclone has footage of how the fire started. Footage that they are burying. Footage that you, Sheriff Shaw, are now in possession of.
Well, we didn't exactly see any tapes.
Or, well, notes that will confirm the existence of these tapes. You have those documents.
You know, we haven't gotten to it yet. We just got everything processed to begin with. We were gonna, after the meeting, double check everything after, but we just processed everything to begin with. Is that true?
Yes. It is. Isn't it, Randall?
I can neither confirm nor deny any of these assets.
Well, it should be easy to deny if it's not true, right, Randall? If you don't have proof of how the fire started, why don't you just say so?
Hmm.
You know, you got my hands tied here, kid. We did, thanks to the efforts of your mother, find somewhat evidence of the wildfire started. And you see there's a number of murmurs. And I do not want to be the guy to tell you this, but the fires were started by members of this community.
And that right there is why Cyclone does not deserve to take over this town, hiding evidence from us, preventing our townsfolk from deciding for ourselves what justice means for us. Lying to us. If they can lie to us about this, what else can they lie to us about?
Well, I will say, Ava, the reason we did not tell you is because, one, we wanted to confirm from our own substance that these individuals caused the fire.
Are you
rather than not being an
law
accident.
enforcement, Cyclone?
Who
are you to confirm anything?
How did you back this up? And from my understanding here, how did you obtain these documents of Cyclone's involvement? Your father, from what I understand, does not have access to any sensitive material of that nature. He is more of outreach.
I was given Cyclone documents to dispose of.
By who exactly?
By one of your employees. My father.
Is this okay, that's understandable. Now, this happened before or after your mother's death?
Why does that matter?
Well, because it's a level of distress. And I think we can all agree here that when an individual suffers a loss...
Are you suggesting my father forged these documents?
It could possibly have happened, yes. A man in grief, it is not uncommon for people to look back at that time at a company and...
We're not supposed to
regret
question
decision.
why you got certain evidence that you illegally obtained by getting in places. But
we are not going
a
to
father giving his
question-
child something is suspicious.
We're not going to question the sound of mindness that Ellis provided these documents in.
Look,
The
whether
man just lost
look,
his wife.
this
20
is
years.
not
You think
a
you're going to be of
court.
a stable mind?
and we are
I'm
not
speaking to his child.
deciding this right now. All I'm saying, and what you, Randall, yourself, have admitted to, is that Cyclone had information that they were deliberately lying to the town of Hearth's Valley about. And all I'm saying to everyone in this room is think about what else Randall Colt and Cyclone might lie to you about. That's all. You admitted that yourself, Randall.
Guilty as charged. Now, let's not go around the fact that, how did they obtain? I mean, I don't want to point the obvious here, but Ava has been doing extracurricular activities which have been somewhat distressing to the community, along with some other individuals, one of which is in police custody. I mean, what does that say about the character of Ava's action? That they may be willing to do anything in order to stop Cyclone from helping you folk?
In
Forged
order to
documents?
protect this community.
It could be a Holloway. I mean, that's a big name there, but we all know about certain individuals within the family are not exactly in the ire of what they once were. Rest his soul, John. Your mother, distressed, but still, nevertheless, a valued member of the community. And again, Lizzie, housing all this contraband of which, if I'm not mistaken, they have all been spending quite some time with one another. I mean, I had the pleasure of meeting all of them at my house. And, I thought we had a great conversation about certain things, so... Clearly, they believe there's something bigger here. So, I mean, if you are doing some investigation about something, I mean, I know you may think it's Cyclone, but I'm honestly interested of what else have we found out? Is there anything else you want to share with the community? Is there any reason why Lizzie would have all this fucking contraband? I mean, drugs and money and all that in their parents' house? I mean, it concerns the validity of your arguments. That's all I'm concerned about. If we're
Not
gonna play tit
really,
for tat.
because like I said, you verified the fact that Cyclone hid and lied. Regardless of whether I'm the worst person, the most immoral person on this planet or not, you admitted to that fact, and that is all that I'm saying.
And all I'm saying is, these individuals, while maybe being righteous, may be doing too much righteousness in a sense of blurring the lines a little bit, folks. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to make an educated guess for you. You're all incredibly smart individuals that you can make your own assumptions for. I'm just saying. On top of all that, I mean, what worldly experience do they have? That's the other thing, you know. Just food for thought. And with that, Eric goes, well, clearly, this could go on literally forever, so I'm going to just put it up to a vote. I mean, each of you should have some paper nearby with you, so you can simply write yay and nay, and put them in the ballot here. So pencils going around. You see Frank's giving up paper and pieces of pencils. Right, yay and nay, and we'll see what happens here. With that, everything's tossed out. People kind of write some immediately. Others have to ponder a bit, looking back at both and forth, thinking of the arguments. But slowly but surely, everybody writes their names, puts their stuff in, and the box is in the center. With that, Mayor goes, all right, I am going to count this off. But as he is about to start, you see the door burst open. And at this point, you see that Cassidy is holding Percy, who seems to have been shot in the left side of their stomach, as they are coming in going, we need some help here. Something happened at the hospital.
What happened? What's going on?
You see Percy go, somebody got a fucking lucky shot. God damn it. Frank, whiskey.
I'm getting closer. Where is Percy shot?
Lower left side, so somewhere in the stomach. It looks like it went through, but it's very much
Is it hitting an organ, in the stomach?
I would
area,
say
or...
you don't know in this sense. He seems to be just bleeding at the moment, so it's not enough. Very much of blood's coming out that you can't necessarily see if it went through, if it hit anything. But very much he's on the side right now.
Okay.
You see Frank is frantically looking for a whiskey bottle.
Yeah, I'm assuming I probably have a tampon on me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out a tampon, and once the whiskey bottle is here and we pour some whiskey over it, I'm sticking a tampon in the wound to try and soak up some bleeding and stop it, plug it up.
Gotcha. You're just working, so no roll.
Yeah. I'm looking over at Ava, and I'm like, we gotta get him to the hospital. We gotta figure some stuff out.
You got shot at the hospital and you left the hospital?
Well, yeah, we were kind of concerned in the whole thing. See, Is
the shooter still there?
No, believe it or not, the shooter is Alyssa. See, what happened was I was going to carpool with Percy here because, Percy can't drive. So I was going to carpool with him to come over. So I'm at the hospital. I'm waiting. And then all of a sudden, there's a gun on the back of my head. And it seems to be Alyssa. There's gun at my head.
Alyssa?
Yeah, they had a real big concern. They were spouting out that Lizzie and Lola were in trouble or something like that, and needed the car to go save them. And by the time I was, concerned, I was trying to go things through. Percy was coming down the stairs. She got spooked, shot him by accident, right? And then he got shot. She took the car and she bolted out. We were concerned because she came from the hospital. You know what I mean? So, we hitched another ride real quick into town, especially that we wanted to let you know what was going on.
Idiots! You should have go straight to the hospital.
I don't do well in these situations, all right? Is just something happened? And stuff?
You absolutely should go to the place with doctors when you're shot. The hell?
Okay, before you go, you said that Lola and Lizzie are in danger? That's what Alyssa said. What direction did she go in? To the police station, or?
No, they looked like they were just headed to... I really don't know. They weren't headed towards town. You see Shaw kind of is on the side and goes, yeah, guys, can you just check on Lizzie Stone for me? And I haven't gone over yet. Are they all right? You see real quick. I can check it on the chart. Yeah, I'm not looking at anything here. It looks like Lizzie never made it. I thought you let Lizzie go.
The hell?
What do you mean they never made it? Yeah, we had the troopers. Nobody came in, so we thought you guys were just working overtime, or maybe you just let Lizzie go. To be honest. So all this time, Lizzie hasn't been in the station. Yep, Sergeant. I'm not looking at anything here. Yeah, just, yeah. Looks over to you. Okay.
You are a fucking idiot.
I will take that with grace. Yeah.
You're all fucking
all right,
idiots.
Everybody.
Okay,
we got a clear situation here. Stop the vote. We all need to go look to see where they are. It could be anywhere in town or the nearby forest or anywhere. So we're gonna do this.
They said that Alyssa drove away from town, so we all need to drive away from town, different directions, okay? Until we find Lizzie.
That's a good idea. We're gonna do it back like we did with Cassidy. We're gonna form search parties, go in various directions. Some crews go to fairgrounds, go to national park, go everywhere which way that anybody could possibly park, okay?
And you take Percy to the hospital. For God's sake.
I'll call an ambulance. You take care of him. And with that person
Lizzie.
goes.
We gotta find Lizzie.
You want to drive, Zona?
Yeah.
With that, Arizona, he looks over to you. Don't get shot.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot. I'm like looking at him, but like I'm saying, you're a fucking idiot with a little bit of love in there.
Wonderful. With that, you get in your car. You do notice the storm is about to begin here, as the raining is getting a little bit more here. It's getting a little bit tense, and in this moment, Dr. Rand kind of looks all to you. So, I think if anything, this conversation has proven we need a better police force. If anything, we need.
We need to get rid
better.
of the police force, but you know what? We don't have time for that conversation. As all of us running away with Sona.
As you sort of as you say that there, he kind of goes, okay, so understanding that all happened there, were you concerned for Lizzie's well-being, or were you more concerned about Alyssa? I mean, that didn't make any sense why Alyssa would,
I'm
hijack
weirded
somebody.
out. I'm weirded out by Alyssa. In my mind, this is probably the thing that happened with my mom. And I'm more concerned about Lizzie's immediate safety than anything else.
I mean, Lizzie already told us, right? Like, before that Alyssa had been controlled, so we know that has happened. But this honestly just sounds like Alyssa freaked out and was trying to genuinely just find Lola and Lizzie and didn't know how else to do it. Like, it didn't seem like Alyssa was trying to hurt anybody.
She did, though.
Yeah.
And with that, you all drive off, and I think that's a good time to take a quick break here. So with that, folks, we are going to take a quick break. So make sure you use El Baño, grab yourself a snack, and we'll be right back for the second half, folks. We'll see you soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second half of this episode here. As we get into it, Lizzie's missing, so let's get right back into that. And at this point, my other two lovely are in the car. Everybody in town is starting to break off, go off into different sections to find wherever Lizzie may possibly be. But before we get to, actually, let's do you for a hot second here before we get to Lizzie. I'm very curious, you, Zona, and Ava, where are you going to look for Lizzie? Do you have an idea of where you're going to look? What are you going to do?
I say like maybe the church first.
Yeah, that
You wanna
makes
go to church
sense.
first?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So with that, going to the church, you drive up, very much trying to be fast about this as well. As the storm is starting to get to the bit of, you have to put trench coats or just whatever to cover yourselves as the rain's coming in. But pulling up to the church here, are you going to open the door or are you kicking the door down? I'm very curious.
I mean, it's the church. We could just walk in.
Fantastic. So walk in, empty. You see that for the most part, it's quiet. Not even lights are on at this instance. Usually Father Stone's here most of the time, just in case anybody comes in, but no one seems to be out and about at the moment.
Okay, as somebody who's not Christian and is not familiar with churches, is there usually like a place in the church where like the priest has like an office or like a place to be?
It's usually the
or
back.
something?
Yeah, it's usually like they have some sort of place for them to talk. It's usually the back.
I think Ava's gonna gesture towards wherever that area is and say to Zona, maybe we could find some information about where Father Stone is right now, if we look at his stuff.
I mean, yeah, if we can get into the office or something. We're in my car, so I'm assuming I have an extra gun. I'm gonna give a gun to Ava if you don't have one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Extra good to have you with that. We see to go in the back. Not anything that you can see at the moment, so I'm gonna need brain check from the both of you, as this place is completely empty. So it's a matter of finding whatever information you can.
What's the DC?
I'm gonna see. We'll do the same, 5, 10, 15,
Gotcha.
20 to see what you get.
Okay, and we're rolling what for this? Brains?
Brains.
Oof. I got a 3, but I'll use an adversity
Oh.
token to make that a 5.
Fantastic.
I got a 1. I'm not doing well with this.
Neither Zona nor Ava frequents church, and so I think that's like the flavor of why this is so hard for us, is we don't know where to look.
It's just the robes. You don't know how this functions. You don't really care how this functions. You're just trying to find out, how do I find what I need to find? Going through, you're not able to find anything particular that's useful, but you do notice, I think, Ava, at this point, that there seems to be a pair of boots that must have been switched out or something like that. And you can see from the mud and everything that's on it, there's a bit of like hay on it. And from what you can think of, using what you know, you can guess wherever Father Stone went is near the fairgrounds.
I will relay that information to Zona.
I think Zona, you
what-
see the boots, you like double confirm, like, yeah, that's probably somewhere where the fairgrounds are.
What do we know about the fairgrounds, like layout or like? Just
There-
things about it.
Yeah, there's the main arena. Since they're packing up at the moment in terms of, because there was the fair and they're packing up everything right now. So you do know there's people about and whatnot. You do remember Lizzie went somewhere during that time. You know a general direction, but you don't know where they went. They went off with Lizzie and Lola. You remember at your time at the fairground.
Yeah, so
Okay. Let's start to head over there then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So with that, you get in your car and you proceed to go towards that way. At this point, shift over to you, Lizzie. You see Lola is still a bit concerned in this moment, and it's just like, what did you talk about?
Gave me a fucking Sunday school lecture. Said that I was supposed to be a sacrifice to the fire instead. Samson was supposed to be some special fucking saying that the fire gave him the similar curse he calls a gift, calls the Lord's gift.
So, are you gonna do it?
This is the truth, okay? We have to apparently go somewhere for this sacrifice to go off without a hitch. For It's all so ridiculous speaking it out loud because it's just this man-child's idea of what needs to happen, but what I'm hoping is that when he takes me to this place somewhere far away from you, I can at least take him down with me.
What do you mean down with you? You're not planning on doing some sort of, one last hurrah kind of thing, are you?
Yes, I am. And I need you to... Someone will come through. Someone will find you. But I need to take me and him somewhere very far away from here. Wherever, hopefully near the glade. And when you get saved, you come find this place. And I'm gonna tell Lola where the last mine, like the cave where Amberwoods was. I'm gonna give her that information, that little like weird clearing with the lockers and all of that shit. I'm gonna let her know basically. Hopefully she remembers it. If she doesn't remember it, then them's the breaks. And I need you to, it's not fair because you can't do anything about it, but I need to go.
Lizzie, I can process this. I can take this in. Are you sure this is the right thing to do?
I literally have no idea what else to do. And if I can burn us both down ablaze and prove to him that this isn't, regardless of the gifts he fucking has, without all the chalk and the runes and circles and demon shit that he apparently views as the Lord's work. If I can just burn us both down. If I can survive, great, but it needs to all be a ruse.
I understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I never told you how I felt before. Maybe if I did this sooner, you wouldn't be in this fucked up situation.
I was still married a couple months ago. I wasn't gonna let myself... I love you. And I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Lizzie. And at this point, you see Father Stone coming down. Well, I tell you what, Shot, it is raining some fierce out there, so we need a skedaddle here. I'll leave Lola here just in case you get any bright ideas.
Let's go.
Fantastic. And with that, you see he begins to unlock you, begins to escort you up the stairs. But as you see you kind of reaching on top, him kind of behind, closing the door, you see the door swings open, very much shaking wildly and vividly from the wind that's going on. And you see front and center is Alyssa with a gun in their hand pointed at your direction. There's my sister, you bastard. You see, moving out the way, he pushes you to the side. A child, I have no idea what you are speaking of. Don't play dumb with me, you religious nut. Lizzie, how about you talk to your dear friend here before I have to do something in God's name, if you know what I'm talking about.
Whatever I need to roll here to basically give Alyssa some kind of like, so this is Lizzie's hope. You know when you hear about those domestic violence calls to the police and they speak in code about like a pizza delivery, that kind of shit. Whatever I need to roll here for her to catch my drift, I'm just like, Alyssa, my father-in-law and we came here and we needed to talk about a couple of things, and believe me, lovely, safe. But there's a way for all of this to go okay. And then, whatever else I need to say for her, I just need to
Make it a charm 8 here, because they are
Charm 8.
in distress, but it's not too difficult in that sense here. So I think a charm DC 8 is what you're going to be aiming for here.
That's probably not going to work, but let's pray. No, it's a 3.
3.
And I'm severely injured, so I can't bring that up.
Fantastic. You try to move forward, trying to bring your argument here. You see she locks the gun in, and with that points your directions. Don't think I forgot what you did to my face. The two of you, I don't know what you are, but you're dangerous, and my sister is caught in the middle. So I'm gonna ask this only one more time. Where is my fucking sister?
It's not safe for you to be here, Alyssa. Especially alone. Especially singularly armed.
Shut up! Ever since you and your friends came into my life, you have ruined everything, and the last thing I am gonna let you get away with is getting my sister killed.
You're ruining any chance of her safety now. If you don't walk out of here.
Child, I think it's understandable where we have come to this point. I will take you to your dear sister. If you want to follow me, be so kind. Lizzie,
Father,
I suggest you stay. Come on now. If you want to see your dear sister, follow us
walk
this way.
out of here, Alyssa.
Shut up. And with that, Father Stone begins to move. You see Alyssa's following suit. Does give you an opportunity if you want to run for it.
I can't because he's gonna hurt them both.
So what are you gonna do?
It's raining outside.
Yep. See doors open. It's very much like that old shack kind of vibe, where there's some windows around. The door is wide open and sort of swinging heavy, and there seems to be some sort of storm that's probably provides some decent cover if somebody wants to run really into it.
Oh yeah. I think misleading. Her words get jumbled up. The people in her mind get jumbled up. She says, almost seemingly to Alyssa, "You're gonna make me do this." And then I'm gonna grab my father-in-law from the back.
Oh, bronze check if you be so kind. Trying to beat, he is not a strong person. So let's see what he got. Got a 5. He is not a strong man. He is old.
That's literally only a 9.
You beat that, so you're good. So,
Yep.
With that, are you grabbing him like mandibles? Or are you just like grabbing him? So
like from the back under the arms, yeah.
Gotcha. Which goes, Lizzie, I don't think this is a wise decision.
Alyssa, get his keys.
Now, girl, don't do that. I'm very much warning you. I will have to revert to God's wrath if you come any more closer to me. And you can notice it. You don't see his eyes, but you do notice the mist beginning to travel off of it.
Does Alyssa do anything?
They don't notice it because you're the one who can really see that he's like ready to use his wildfire. And Alyssa is like very much coming forward, going to grab his keys, almost like still gun pointed at the both of you, but very much just like going in slowly.
Okay. In that realization and panic, then, I mean, I can't do anything, she can't do anything. Alyssa, you can still get out of here. You can let me take care of this.
Make another charm check. 8.
Nope, that's not gonna work. Okay, explode. And I got a 2. That's an 8.
Hesitant. I just want to know where my sister is. How can I
She's
trust
in the
you?
fucking basement. You can't fucking get her right now. You just gotta go.
What about him?
Let me deal with him.
Fuck. I'm giving you 10 minutes. If either of you are still here, I will shoot you point blank. I swear to God. Fine by me, child. I suggest you run off now. You see still gun going back. They disappear into the rain. And with that, he kind of taps on your shoulder. Now be so kind, Lizzie, and let me go. So we can get to the matters of the day.
I'm gonna summon my wildfire and I want to burn him.
DC 20 because you still get your shackles on. Get to my other 2 in a hot moment.
No, that's a failure. That's a 5.
Take another token. And with that, you see that you try just imagining his body aflame on fire so that he could just shut up. And she smiles. Lizzie, that's not going to work on me. Those right there are some bona fide pieces of art provided by God himself. So I highly suggest you let me go. Before I have to substitute the pain I was going to inflict on Miss Flores onto you.
I did say Paul had to go blind for 3 days ambling around for him to finally hear the Lord of God, the voice of the Lord. I'm in a weird position. I don't know how this is gonna work. I want to basically see. The mist was coming from his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a weird angle here, but I want to see what happens if I basically just start clawing and punching his face from behind him.
Gotcha. Make another bronze check. more fight check at this time, as you're physically assaulting this man now. So
Yes,
make
I
that
am.
for me. You
Yeah,
gotta beat a 5 again. Jesus, he sucks at his job. Not as strong as a
10.
60-year-old man.
It's a 10.
It's a 10. With that, you turn him around, headbutt him as he falls on the ground, giving him time to, even though your hands are together, you can still know how to wield them and just begin to beat the living daylights out of this man. At this point, for my two lovely other individuals here, you pull up to this spot here. As you're sort of pulling up to where you think the fairgrounds are, you can see that in the middle of the parking lot, very much the car parked diagonally, still on, is Alyssa's car. So you know that you're in maybe the right place as they came here.
Hey, pull up right next to that one.
Yeah. Pull up and kind of look around. Do we see like any tracks maybe in the ground from Alyssa's car to wherever? Like, is there?
Yeah, you see that it's leading straight into the forest.
While Zona's looking for the tracks, I'm gonna really quickly just like once over the car, like the inside of it. Is there anything that's left there? Any clues or
Make a
anything
brains
that might be
check.
useful to us? I don't know.
Make a brains check.
All right, let's see. I got a 2, so probably.
A 2? I mean, nothing. It's Cassie's car, so I mean, he's got like music stuff in the back, but that's it.
I'll at least just turn the car off. And
Turn
then
it
follow
off.
Zona, who sees the tracks.
With that, you two begin to make your way in, and then at that point, make, I'm gonna say, either brains check to see if you hear something, or a flight check to just run in the direction and hope it's the best.
I'm gonna do
Leave it up to
brains.
you which one you want to do.
I'm gonna brains, or what was the other option?
Either brains to listen, or flight to just run in a direction and hope that it's the way. It's gonna be, you guys have to choose
I'll do
a
brains
consensus
too.
here. So brains
Oh, we have
brains
to do
too.
consensus? Oh, I thought it was separate.
consensus.
Where like one of
No,
us could do
consensus
one
from,
thing.
like, You
Okay.
could run really fast, but the thing is, like, it's, if you want to stay together, it would have to be consensus. If you're just gonna
Okay,
break off, then
brains.
that's a different story.
Brains. I want to see together.
Okay.
Hey, brains check, if you'd be so kind.
I got a 1.
What is the DC?
7.
Okay, perfect. I got a 7. Bless you.
Fantastic.
Well, perfect.
Bless you. You, Zona, are trying to figure out what's going on here, but as you do, you feel a
I'm
little
not smart.
Yeah, not even that, but you also feel slightly disoriented in this instance, as you can feel like your wildfire, like, fluxing a bit, as it's almost in the sense of you're getting a bit dizzy and you just feel off in the way you're going. But at this point, Ava, you're looking through, listening off, and you can hear what sounds like, even though it's raining very heavily, winds are going through, you can hear what sounds to be someone beating someone. You can hear like the sounds of like just a punch and shackle sounds being made.
I think Ava doesn't even like say anything explanatory to Zona because he trusts that Zona will understand. Ava's just gonna run and start yelling, Lizzie? Lizzie, is that you? Are you okay?
Zona's running in behind.
Fantastic. You begin to run. At this point, you, Lizzie, begin to hear Zona and Ava nearby as they seem to be making your way here. But as you have that brief moment, you beating on him, you stop for a moment, and you see that he, almost like swifting the wind around, uses it to push you off into a nearby wall. I need a grit check if you'd be so kind. Let's make it a... Ooh, DC 10.
I got a 1.
Fantastic. Take adversity tokens, you'd be so kind. With that, also, in this instance, you go up another harm. And at this point, even though your wildfire is at a DC 20, you go Inferno in the second. As you are pushed back into the nearby wall, you can feel something crack almost. As you go on the ground, you feel this pain, and in this instance, you can't hide it. And it does begin to manifest itself as you begin to heat up to the point that even the mandibles around your arms begin to melt in an instant, not caring about whatever power is shackling you. In this instance here, you, since you got this hard mirror, get, if I'm not mistaken, 6 tokens, not 5. So you get 6 more adversity tokens on top of this, as you are very much living in your power in this moment, as you're becoming pretty much a walking flame, to the point that even Father Stone is concerned, but with it provides him enough time to walk off. But you are beginning to heat up in this instant. My other 2, you find your way here. You see that you're at some random ass lake. You can see that Father Stone is running into the nearby woods. But the thing that concerns you a bit is that you can see what looks like to be Lizzie, and their aura, their whatever, seems to be really brightening up to the point that it blinds you for a hot second before you have to like adjust your eyes as you see something's going on with Lizzie.
I'm still running like towards Lizzie.
Yeah, I'm running too. I think it's getting hot too. Like we can feel the heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's summer and you thought, maybe it's just the heat.
Okay.
You can feel the humidity. It's becoming a little hot around this area.
Okay, got it. So I'm gonna turn to Ava and say, I think she's gonna blow. And I'm like yelling out, like, Lizzie, calm down, chill thoughts, ice cream. Like I'm trying to figure out how to prevent this, basically.
Lizzie, at this point, you are heating up. Things are starting to catch on fire, but luckily the rain is able to like stop it for now. But in this instance, what are you doing as you hear Zona on the left of your side here? As you're, at this point, the mandibles, I think, are pretty much melted away at this point, as it's just melted metal in front of you.
I think my voice is changing. I think it's not like, villainous and reverberating, but it almost just seems like it's scratchier and deeper suddenly, as everything about me is fire. I think the only thing I say is, Lola's chained in the basement. And I'm gonna keep walking towards Michael Stone.
Fantastic. You begin to immediately like go out as you go into the rain. Whatever hits you just immediately and just sizzles off as you're just a walking heat source here.
Are things catching fire at all around me? I know it's like everything's like wet and muddy.
Things are like drying up. It's only because it's like there's so much rain around here. So it's like it's not to the point that it's damp enough that any fire that would have been a major problem is being counteracted by the storm. But how long that will last will remain to be seen. You get the idea is that the longer you stand still, the more likely of a chance of a fire starting. So you got that there.
Lizzie, are you
Zona,
okay?
I can't, and I don't say anything.
I think I look at Zona and say, what do we do?
Oh, fuck. You, Ava, try to help Lizzie calm down, think cool thoughts. I'm gonna get Lola downstairs, and I'm gonna try and find Lola. Because I heard Lizzie say, Lola's locked up downstairs, right? Okay, got it. I'm gonna
it's
try
no
and
problem.
find
You
Lola.
just with that, the door is locked, but you just break through that bad boy, no problem. As you just kick it down. Lola sees you, goes, "Oh my god, thank God! Can you get me out of here? I think the Father Stone's gone completely unhinged."
Fuck yeah, I'm trying to get. What's the tie-up situation look like? Like, can I just like cut these?
If anything, you just like look around. You can see that it's very much like an old situation, so you just are able to like really pull it out. She still has the chains on them because it seems to be under lock and key, and you can't really find anything unless you want to do something about that. But for the most part here, you can break them out.
Trying to get. Yeah, I'll try and break them out.
Yep. You just break them out. Go up the stairs. Ava, what are you doing in this instance? As you see Lizzie's just walking through the woods.
I'm following Lizzie, and if Lizzie is like, I'm gonna like as I'm running and following Lizzie, like yell out to her and try to get her to like hear me. But if that is just not happening, at a certain point, I'm gonna say, Lizzie, I really don't want to have to do this. Please, just stop, okay? But if you don't stop, I'm gonna have to make you stop.
I think sorrowfully there's just like this like moaning from my gut, like this groan as I just like point towards the the 60-year-old man attempting to sprint just above us. He needs to die.
You're gonna burn everything down. Look, we can handle that. We can handle that. But right now, look around you, Lizzie. And there's like embers starting to form around Lizzie. Things are catching fire.
It's me and it's him. And I'm taking us both away.
Oh, fuck.
What do you mean you both? You don't need to go anywhere, Lizzie. We're all here with you. Zona is here with you too. We're in this together.
Try what you can. But I'm still going. And I keep walking.
Lizzie!
Am I back up with Lola yet?
Yeah, you're back up. You see this conversation happening, but you have Lola on the side. Lola doesn't know what to do in this instance, but you do notice that Lizzie needs you in this instance.
Okay. Lizzie, Lola's okay. We got her right here. It'll be all right.
I'm just walking.
Fuck.
Then above table, I want to ask you, Joe, is it okay for me to use my wildfire
Of course.
on Lizzie?
Of course.
Okay. In that case, as much as Ava doesn't want to, because we have all been in this together this whole time, and it just feels wrong to use our powers on each other in this way, but Lizzie's gonna burn down the forest. Lizzie's gonna burn herself, and that, honestly, that, more than the forest, more than all of this, losing Lizzie is really what spurs Ava, or the thought of losing Lizzie is what spurs Ava into action in this moment. And Ava starts singing. I'm gonna ask you, Joe, what is Lizzie's favorite song? It can be, if you want, if it's relevant, like it can be like a church choir song, or it could just be a regular song.
I just need to see Time. Yeah, it's Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper.
Okay, I don't know it personally, so I can't sing it
No,
like live right now. Oh yeah, also that.
You sing it perfectly.
Yes, I sing this time. I start singing "Time After Time" by Cyndi Lauper out loud to Lizzie as I follow her, and it's this like, imagine like the rain is coming down. Ava's voice is like trembling because he does not want to do this. And I'm doing this to invoke my wildfire to try and calm Lizzie down so that she is not so bloodthirsty in this moment.
Fantastic. I'm going to say Wildfire versus Grit here. So with that, Lizzie, you need to make a grit check. That's going to set the DC for whatever this Wildfire is. Don't say that, because look who's rolling. That's not a sharp bet.
I have my result.
Okay, wait, what's your result? What's the DC?
It's a 3.
Oh!
It's a D4.
Oh, okay, I got a 5. I was ready to whiff, because I was
You
like...
see how close that is? You're like, never. You got a 5. Are you kidding me?
I was ready to whiff. I was like, oh man, there's no way.
God, thank God.
Don't worry about it.
With that, you begin to hear their voice almost like, not in a sense climb into you, but in a sense, but like reach into you, reverberate, and you begin to feel this feeling of calm. The anger's still there, but I think it's turning more into some way, shape of just tiredness. So how is Lizzie feeling? And on top of that, you can take it back to severe as you're sort of like pulled out and calmed back into a normal stand.
I have to give away the adversity tokens.
No, you keep them. You have
Okay,
those now.
fantastic.
Oh my god, you have turbo adversity tokens.
Turbo adversity token.
It feels as if there's no way that Ava could feel this or see the way that it manifests in Lizzie's soul, or what Lizzie kind of envisions her wildfire resting in her body, which feels like a soul to her. It feels like Ava somehow came inside like a ghost and just wrapped around her heart and like held her deeply and truly in a way that in ways that only Arizona and Ava could ever understand what this feeling could be like. And it feels as though even a connection beyond her romantic attraction to Lola, or the like familial love she had for her parents, or like any sermon that ended with all of the like even the children understanding and crying together what the communal feeling was like. This is the only true way that Lizzie has ever felt understood, and that there will be justice. But just as she is taking a part of nature that took away so many people, she's going to choose to not view the wildfire as something that was a challenge from God or a deliberate choice from anything in particular, and that it's just something that is teaching her something about herself right now. And the fire dies down from her hair and her clothes, and the embers all around are allowed to get rained on despite her presence. And she's finally allowing the rain to soak into her hair and into her clothes. And Lizzie turns around to you singing to her this beautiful song, something again that's made her feel something, a song of just, I'll be there and I understand you. And I think Lizzie turns and like, she'll hug Ava in this moment.
Ava will hug Lizzie back, like I think still softly singing the song, even though it's like not actively wildfire powering. I think just for the pure human comfort of it, we'll continue to sing the song gently, quietly to Lizzie as he returns the hug. And
As you're having this oh, no, what were you saying?
And as the song starts to die down, Ava just says, "We'll get him. We're not just gonna let him walk away."
Thank you. That isn't what I wanted.
I'm not gonna let you be a martyr, Lizzie Stone.
This
Kinda
point,
Push Lola towards Lizzie.
push Lola towards Lizzie, but Zona, you hear out of like, the storm is getting particularly bad at this point. You see the winds are blowing through, the rain is getting a little more heavy and a little bit more hitting at your skin, but you hear Percy of all people begin to scream into the void going, "Zona! Zona, where are you?"
Is he over here? The hell? Percy! Where is he?
He's like coming from behind. You see he is very much still holding his side, but still has a gun on his side as well. It's sort of like he's still holding his wound and with the gun, and kind of goes, "Zona, you find him?"
We got Lola. We got Lizzie. Yeah.
But then he comes into frame. You see he's by himself, very much looking like a mess, going over to you in your direction.
Why the fuck are you over here?
Because I'm not gonna let you get shot by some deranged priest or whatever.
You are bleeding out. You got a tampon in your abdomen.
I've had worse. I'm not letting you do this alone.
Okay. I'm pissed at him a little bit.
Kind of meeting up. So where's the asshole who did this?
Look over to Ava and Lizzie. We're looking.
I was focused on Lizzie, so I will defer to Lizzie. Did you see what direction he went?
As far as my memory serves, he was still going he was going down along Lakeside, right?
He was going like up towards the mountain, so it looks like from the way he was headed towards the old where you had the party at.
He's going towards the mines, the abandoned ones.
Then quick, we gotta cut him off before he does whatever the fuck it is he's planning.
Where's Alyssa? Did she actually
She left.
head out?
She said
Okay,
10
good.
minutes she'll be back, but I don't know if you want to wait that long.
No.
With
I
that,
say we go hunting.
you taking Lola with you as well? Or what are you gonna do with Lola?
I don't want Lola out of my sight, honestly. There's something about Percy that I think Lizzie and Josephine are just kind of like, what the hell is going on with you? So yeah, I'm just like, let's go, everybody.
With that, you all go up the mountainside. It's raining, it's windy. You can hear the wind almost like whistling by past you. But at this point, you make your way to the top, find your way at the sort of abandoned entrance, and while you were at the party, initially it was closed. You can see it's very much like burst wide open now, almost like if like a truck hit it or something of that nature. The entrance that was cut off, making sure nobody got in, is open into the main set of mines. See, Percy goes, it looks like he went into the mines.
Well, it's a good thing that Lizzie had a map of the mines, isn't it? So I think at this point, because we had to all study that map for safety reasons, that we are all rather familiar with the ins and outs of the mines.
All right, you see, he goes into the nearby, like, where you had the party and begins to, like, rummage through stuff. Everybody should wrap this around their waist. And you see, he pulls out what looks like to be a rope.
You just
it's gonna
carry
be wet
that
in there.
around?
No, it's inside the freaking shack. They left a bunch of old mining shit, so. I don't think you want to go out there without anything, because you'll slip and fall, die, or drown, so. You can take your pick, kid.
All right, and Dava's gonna start tying the rope around his waist and hand it over to Zona.
You guys begin to
Brain
wrap.
check.
Now, real quick, who exactly knows their way best in this godforsaken place?
Lizzie puts herself first. Really quick though, could I do like a brains check on Percy? Just be like,
I think it's a
is
charm
everything
check,
fine? Well, it's like, I guess kind of like an insight check is the
Yeah, make a
closest thing
brains
that I
check
could
if you'd
think
be
of.
so kind.
Percy is
Okay.
being funky.
Well,
Suss him
Percy's
out.
been being funky. None of his actions make sense.
Honestly, yeah, he's
got
a
I got an
strange
8.
man.
He's
What you got an
randomly firing me. He gets shot.
I got an 8.
Fantastic.
He's
So-
here after he gets shot instead of the hospital.
Yeah.
All right, 8, so that is going to be, unless anybody wants to help, it's going to be failure in that sense, so you can take it.
I'm gonna help.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
help.
Yeah. Is there a DC we can know about in that case?
12, it was 12, that's what it was.
Oh, it was 12. Okay. Yeah.
Can I roll a brains to and add that to it?
It would be add giving if you have adversity tokens to give.
I just got turbo Turkins as well, but I'm still severely
adversity
injured.
tokens.
So I
Okay,
would
so
need like
4.
You need 8?
I'll give you 4.
I think you need
You're at an 8, so you
to-
need 4. So
Oh.
I'll
would
give you
need
4
8
adversity
total.
tokens.
okay,
Or you can
great.
just get 4 from that. So with that, going through, what are you looking for in particular? Is there anything that you're particularly like?
I'm
trying to
looking
suss
for
out?
mist. I'm looking for an intent in his eyes. I'm looking for fidgeting hands. I'm looking for shaking. I'm looking for like the liars. The tremble in a voice.
Yeah. Going through, giving just a really quick once over as you see everybody's tying up. Looking over to his wound, you can see that it's very quick, that nobody really notices as the wind's just flapping all about. But sort of the tampon and everything that's in there is no longer there anymore, and its wound looks like it's just completely healed.
Okay. Did my wildfire go to D4? Or is it still D20?
No, you didn't explode. So
okay.
You're at a D20.
I summon wildfire and I just hold fire in front of his face and I say, wait.
Is your hand on fire?
Why is your wound healed?
Not really healed, still bleeding, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
You were shot in the stomach. That should not be healed.
It's not healed. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Lift up his shirt.
It's just healed. I don't know
what are your intentions.
My intentions is to resolve this. So, but you put it down.
Do you have the powers of the wildfire, Percy?
No, I don't have the powers of the wildfire.
Does somebody else and they helped you?
Yes.
Who healed you?
Rosa.
What? What? Oh, hell no.
Ava goes immediately to restrain Percy after he says Rosa.
It's not what it looks like.
What it looks like is that you are working with one of the most corrupt people in town. Member of a cult.
Look, we don't have a lot of time. They are going to...
So you better start talking then.
I am cursed. And not the way you are, okay? It's been a long family curse. It's a family curse. Some shit happened a long time ago. And some witch or whatever cursed my family. It's been a whole thing the entirety of my life. Rosa
You're just unlucky, Percy.
It's not unlucky, believe me. It is an actual thing, and I hate it.
Okay, what does this have to do with Rosa and the cult that you apparently are friendly with?
Rosa said they could take care of it some time ago.
And
so you've been working with Rosa?
Her. I've been helping them.
You do understand what that means, right? Helping Rosa.
Yes, I understand, and I am trying to make up for my past mistakes here. I didn't want you involved, Zona, because I know they want you dead. They want all of you dead.
So you're working with people who want me dead?
Well, it wasn't the plan. It was supposed to be some other schmuck who got the powers, but you had to be a goddamn hero.
Let's tie him up to a rock. I'm not fucking taking him with. Fuck this shit. Above the table, we're leaving his ass. Yeah. He's not coming with us.
I mean, we can untie the rope around us.
Yeah.
And use it to tie him
Untying the rope around us.
A slightly funny scene as you untie this long-ass rope and then immediately tie it all on him, which is hilarious. But he goes, do not go in there. You're going in there. It's a big mistake. Are you trying to help, assholes?
And we walk in.
I don't trust this man for shit. I hate Percy now.
Thank you for doing the insight check. Goddamn. Honestly, we would have just had him here with us, bro.
He 1,000% would have fucking.
I'm sure he feels like he has the more information. He does not. He doesn't even have a fucking curse. Well, he does, but we're not dealing with this right now.
He would have been the death of us.
With that, you all proceed inward into the mountain. Going through side to side. Knowing your way through, tracking and thinking where they might be. It kind of cuts back to Dr. Moran in the hospital and kind of goes, so you tied up Percy because he was involved in some way,
He
shape, or
was
form
part of the
with-
conspiracy to kill a bunch of townsfolk. Yeah, we tied him up.
Is that a whole branch thing, or was it just him? Was
We
it?
had way more questions than we had answers, and we just weren't dealing with that in that moment.
Okay, all right, it's understandable. Understandable. So you went to the cave. What were you expecting to find? Besides, your father-in-law.
More
We didn't
about the
know.
cult stuff. Something.
Okay, so what happened next? As it kind of cuts back in the caves, you're trying to find your spot, and then immediately you can hear echoing from one of the sides Rose's voice. Well, isn't this interesting? As it echoes. What are 3 little birds doing here? Or 4, I guess, if we're counting Lola.
We're here to kick your ass.
That Holloway spirit must be intoxicating.
Is Father Stone anywhere to be seen?
It's echoing. You
Oh,
don't know
we
where
can't
it's
even
coming
see her.
from.
We just hear her.
No, you just
Oh.
hear her.
Why don't you come out and talk to us face to face?
Follow my voice, assholes. You know this place like the back of your hand.
I just want to have a. We don't have like torches or anything, so I just have wildfire.
Follow through, and as you get to the exit, you see what looks like to be this sort of almost like plateau in a sense that opens up to the entirety of the cavern. And with it, you can see just all of like the stalagmites and everything. You can see what looks like to be maybe an elevator shaft that's supposed to go down further, so it's like a main point. But in front of it, you see what looks like to be Rosa holding Michael Stone by like his collar. Oh, are we looking for this piece of trash? He's unconscious right now, but don't worry. You can have him.
Ava looks over at Lizzie, waiting for what she wants to do, given that it's her father-in-law.
Fucking exhausted of you, secret villains. Why the sudden change? The heart.
Oh, it was never a change of heart, dear Lizzie. It's all part of the plan. Or this idiot thinks it's God's plan.
Is he not the man with which Rana was so fearful of?
Forgive me, you make me laugh. You think this bumbling idiot who believes God is whispering in his ear is the last a Heartfellow? It's generally disappointing. Isn't even the word. It's disgusting. Now he's one of the little mistakes. He's like you in a sense. He started hearing or started to learn about his powers after the fire and thought it was God. But he served his usefulness. And to be honest, we just wanted you. I mean, it's the reason why we sent you the fucking tape to begin with.
So then who do you work for? Who is he?
work for somebody. True. But... oh shit, he should just introduce. At this point, you see behind you, pushing you all out into the open, very much tumbling for a hot second. Percy somehow managed to unbuckle himself, but at this point you see his eyes are rolled back as you see a mist going in and in between his ears. And coming out of the darkness, rolled up sleeves, Dr. Moran.
So you don't trust therapists. You don't go to therapy.
Wait.
Fuck therapy.
This asshole.
Wait, hold on.
Can I just
Above
shoot this
table.
guy?
Wait, above table. I have a continuity question. Why
No,
would we
it's-
be?
Yeah.
Why would
We'll
we be
get to that in a
talking
hot
to
second.
Dr. Moran if he was okay?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
I'm so confused.
Let it happen. Let it ride. You'll get to it in a hot second. Don't worry. It'll make sense. Let it ride. But in this instance, Dr. Moran comes out. Thank you, my dear. You have done a wonderful job. Percy, if you be so kind, lock and low. As you see, it whispers out of his mouth into Percy's ears. As you see, he reacts, following.
How is Percy not tied up anymore?
Moran let him out, it must have been.
Magic.
Or if anything, you see that Percy's not in control of himself. You see that he is following orders.
Okay, I'm gonna start shooting. I'm gonna start killing these guys.
He's gonna start shooting?
I'm
He's gonna
looking
shoot?
over at Ava and Lizzie, and I'm like, guys, can we kill these guys? Can we just shoot
You know
them?
the meme that's like one person that's like, I think we gotta kill him, and the other person's
We
like,
gotta
damn.
kill him.
It's literally Soda and Ava and Lizzie. I think we gotta kill these guys, Soda. Damn.
I do think if you pull out your gun, Lizzie would just be like, with like a renewed calmness and like a processing wait.
Okay, I'll hold off. So long as Lizzie tells me to hold off, I'll hold off.
Zona's just got the gun out, just like.
Charlie's
Just figuring,
Angels.
it's like you're trying to remember it goes this way, and I click. Thank
So-
you, Lizzie, for being so understanding.
Shut the don't fucking talk to me with gratitude or with any sense of fucking. There's a reason I did not fucking like you, and it's all boiled down to this moment, hasn't it?
Maybe, but I did speak the truth. I did want to help you reach your full potential, just like everyone here. Some succeeded more than others.
Give us one reason not to shoot you all right here.
Well, your father's a reason. Your mother, I don't know if you particularly care, Zona. I just think you might feel bad. And for Lizzie, well, Lola's right here. And it'll be very simple to... even if you do shoot me somehow in the head, Percy here can just focus his fire to Lola. And Percy's supposed to be a loyal soldier, but he sucks at that job, so... he grew a heart. I blame Zona.
So what? What do you even want? This has been convoluted since the beginning. What the hell is it that you want?
Well, to make a very long story short, I want my power back. See, your parents and I, we were immortal, powerful beings. I killed a couple people to get it, but we got it. But then, Casty Kane, that fucking case, irks me to this day. Essentially, your parents grew hearts as well. They had children, and that led to problems. They didn't want to keep sacrificing people because they were worried about what that made them look like. Especially with having children, it gets a little awkward at the dinner table where your mom looks the same age as you. but I didn't have such qualms about any of that. I had the power, and, I come from a time where a snake could bite you in the ass and you die. Death is not something I really look forward to. Hell, I don't intend to look it in the eye any day soon. But in order to do that, I need sacrifices. And sadly, killing a random vagabond that makes her way through town doesn't cut it. So I had to get creative. If the people we sacrifice equate to the level of power we have, then it's like jump-starting a car. I needed batteries. And the only local batteries around, or anybody who's touched a wildfire, were your parents nearby. Your mother, Ava, your parents, Lizzie, and of course your father, John, that smug son of a bitch. Now, he was the hardest to kill. Hell, he almost got me. Luckily, I did a little bit of a switcheroo on him. He tried to kill me at the power plant. I wasn't a fun time. But luckily, the explosion provided just enough time to slit the guy's throat, which was wonderful. Your mom also was a slippy bastard. She said she was in, but she fucking lied. And,
You got all of them. So why this? Why us? What?
Well, your parents were, as I learned, short-term solutions. About a weekend, I felt it already dwindling, so I needed something fresher. Individuals who use the power, who have learned to live with it, use it. But in order to do that, I need new people. And luckily enough, after doing some investigating, especially watching from time to time, the Wildfire Club was a wonderful cover. It helped see which individuals were affected or not, and luckily you individuals are very bright in that way of happening. But you still needed some guidance and some help, so I sent the tape over to Lizzie. I know it would require you to investigate, go through a bunch of things, especially your rowdy nature and all that, and you use the power each time, more powerful and more powerful and more powerful, understanding it, using it, living with it, loving it, hating it, developing a relationship with it, becoming prime sources of power. So there's one more step I have to do in order to get what you got for me, so I can be immortal, live forever, and never have to worry about dying again. It's very simple, really. Complex plan, but simple objective.
And you think that, what? We're just gonna roll over? Let you take us to the slaughter?
Well, no, I don't think that at all. That's why Father Stone is pretending to be dead. And at this point, you feel something grab you all and push you off a cliff.
Wait, I thought we were in a cave system.
Yeah.
It's very much like you're very much, but he pushes you off into one of the nearby caverns in a sense. So they think of very much of like a flat base that they're able to push you off. It's not necessarily a whole. It's not too much damaging, but at this point, I need grit checks from all of you. Be so kind.
2.
What's the DC?
Let's make it 13.
I got 18.
Fantastic. Zona?
7. Damn.
With that, you feel the brush of wind push you all off. You see, Lola is not part of that entourage, but with that, you all fly off. And while you don't necessarily die from any of this, your heads immediately hit on impact what looks like to be just nearby sections of the wall as you go unconscious. And as you are trying to understand all of this, it gets back to where you are with Dr. Moran, question mark? As they get up. So is that what happened?
So we don't remember anything of this, or we
You
just
kinda-
don't remember?
You remember it
Dr.
now. It's very
Moran?
much you very much didn't remember, but now you understand completely, in a sense.
Wait, I'm confused. So do we remember that Dr. Moran is there, or do we not?
Yes, you remember Dr. Moran was the person that was there, and apparently is the person responsible for all this.
Okay, got it.
To us now.
But the person in front of you is a bit weird because they act like they didn't understand what happened.
Brains check.
Please do.
Papa. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Make it one more check here.
Okay, that explodes for me. 9
What's the
total.
DC?
Make it a 9.
Make the 9 a DC.
Mhm.
The
9
all right.
is the
I'll
DC.
use 4 adversity tokens to get the 9.
Fantastic. Both of you notice that as Dr. Moran is sort of getting up, moving around, their eyes are just begin to glow bright red.
I don't have my gun on me. Motherfucker.
You do have it and can pull it if you want. You know, it's almost
I
At
thought
the
we're in
hospital?
now.
They didn't
Yeah,
like
you can
take it
pull it.
away from her?
You
We're
can
not
pull
in
it out.
jail. We have
Not
our
jail.
stuff.
I would have thought they would have put me in like in like a hospital gown or something. so I
Yeah,
wouldn't
like
have
when they
gun.
like undress us, though, they take her stuff and put them.
Yeah.
It's almost instinctual, as if in the sense of when you think of, I wish I had my gun on you, it very much comes into your hand.
Wait, what? Is that part of my wildfire?
You don't know, but you see that it reacts, and you see the individual in front
What
of
is
you.
happening?
I'm
Okay,
so confused.
I'd love to do another check here now to be like, is this real? Is any
Yeah.
of this
Are
real?
we
on.
hallucinating?
Are we in a dream? Are we hallucinating? Because none of this makes sense.
Just for the sake of expediency.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Lizzie, you notice that this isn't necessarily real.
Okay.
Okay.
As you're thinking, I got hit in my head, why do I have bandages across my stomach?
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that as the eyes of this individual is red, burning, their skin begins to shift into blue. And part of you recognizes this individual. Like, we're at the funeral, I guess. You saw them for a second. And then when you were at Amber's grave, you saw them again. And I think at this instance they turned to you. I see you're starting to recognize that this isn't reality.
Can we have it back?
You can. But I must first see if you are worthy. I have a number of questions for you.
Lay it on us.
You've been using my power. Now it's time to see why it was given to you. And why did you steal it from?
Oh, he's got a man. So confused.
And in this moment, I'm going to have to end our session for today. Yay! As you can see, the crew is befuddled, confused, and confounded, but a lot has happened. With that in mind, we would like to thank everyone for joining us for another wonderful episode of the Wildfire Club. Before we get to all the outro stuff, real quick, who is with us here today? Starting off with you, Cam. Who are you and who did you play today and where can people find you?
Hello there. Hi. I'm Cam. Today I played Arizona Holloway, and you can find me at cam.nader or cam_nader, depending on the platform, on just about everywhere. And I'll pass it over to Joe.
Hello, everyone. I'm Josephine at scarydogfriend. I have been Lizzie Stone, who uses she/her pronouns. You can find me over at on Tuesdays, Lantern Light Adventures. We play Monster Hearts 2. We're currently playing Appetites, which is a story that's like, what if Buffy was the bear, was the menu? And I play a very jealous, very fucked up manticore lady. Also over on Imagination Arcade, I believe next Thursday, playing Eat the Reich, and I play Chuck, the American cowboy cannibal vampire. Lots of other places, but you can find most of my stuff and promos over at Scary Dog Friend on Bluesky. Pass it to Humna.
Hello everyone, my name's Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. Today I have been Avataha, who uses he, him pronouns. If you want to follow me and my work, you can follow me all over the social medias at Lilith TTRPG. I am most active on Blue Sky, so probably go there. You should also follow Tender Vicious Studios, which is my multimedia production studio. You can find us all over the social medias at Tender Vicious Studios or at tendervicious.com. We have a AP out right now called Lori's House that is available wherever you pod your casts. It is a story about imperfect memory, community, and identity. I think it's really good. You should go listen to it. And with that, I'm going to pass things back over to Chris.
Hello everyone, my name is Chris and I have been your GM for these preceding evenings. You can find me at Vero Cologne, mostly on Blue Sky and Twitter. And we have the Wildfire Club. Now, going into it, we'll make a post later on, but we got 2 more episodes, but they're going to be bi-weekly just because life stuff is happening. So next week there won't be a new episode, but the week after we'll follow with a new one and then repeat that again for our finale. So we'll make a post clarifying all that. But there's 2 more episodes left, so don't worry. We still got some more stuff for you there. We got a bunch of more announcements and stuff going on, as well as quit war denominations going on at the moment. But you can find that all on our Blue Sky Taíno Tales. Until then, and that's everything out the way, we hope you had a lovely evening with us. And to be honest, we can't wait to meet you all again to figure out what happens to the Wildfire Club next time. Until then, everyone, we hope you have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.